My name is Tony Litt. I'm the MD of Sunrise Radio, and it's my immense pleasure to bring you the official Sunrise Radio podcast. We are the #1 commercial Asian station in the United Kingdom, with many firsts to our name, and we continue to be the voice of British Asians who have given us their love and loyalty over 30 years. It's a legacy we cherish and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. Our aim has always been to entertain the listeners with the best of Bollywood and Bhangra, while also addressing their concerns. A real voice for the community, a vibrant community, and a great nation. We are proud to be British and Asian. This podcast is a compilation of some of the things we do on the station, with a stellar lineup of presenters who each have their own personality and style. It's entertaining, informative, engaging, and we hope you will enjoy it here as a podcast if you are unable to tune in to the radio. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your family and friends about this podcast. And do leave us a comment on what you think. We'd love to hear from you. All the best always. Team Sunrise.
The UK's biggest station mix. Sunrise Radio.
Hey, my name is Shabnam Sahi. Welcome to the official Sunrise Radio podcast. I'm on your radio weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. If you've heard the show, you know what to expect from it. But here are some exciting, interesting Bollywood stories that you may have missed. This time round, served up as part of our official Sunrise Radio podcast. Enjoy. My name is Shabnam Sahi. Welcome to Sunrise Radio in London. We are so excited about the fact that you have done the music for Fighter, which is already busting all the charts. मेरा सबसे पहला सवाल आपसे ये है कि what do you think is the alchemy of a good song? You know, when you sit down to compose, what inspires you? Is it the story? Is it the actors? Because you're given a scenario, right? And then you compose the songs.
I think when everyone smiles in the room together after a song is made, I think that's when you start feeling that there is something special about this. When you go back home and then you still talk about the song, and when you still hum the song, and when it just like you can't wait to get into the studio and record it, I think that's the moment we kind of wait for, and that's something. When it comes, you know what I'm saying? and we celebrate that.
Yeah, I think it comes from the people in the room. And I think it comes from the fact that that all of us are, we very much like a pilot and his aircraft. We all become part of the same mission. We've got the same story in our minds. We're all heading in the same direction. We're all serving the same, music, the same film, and so that collaborative process really brings a lot of energy into the creation of the song.
Now, you speak about a collaboration, and you guys have been a team for the longest time. You've churned out hit after hit, and you've gone on to have successful individual careers as well. What do you think makes you tick as Vishal Shekhar?
I feel, there's always a belief in your association, in your friendship, in your collaboration, in the time spent together, where your friendship becomes stronger over time. And I'm saying it just becomes like, I don't think when Vishal and I also meet at the airport, we say hi to each other. It's just like, it's like we don't even, and then in the middle of the night, if one calls the other, we are there for each other. So it's one of those things where I think without even being in touch or talking every day, and and not even talking for like 2 months, 3 months doesn't change anything for us, because when we sit together and when we start a film, or we are working on a song together, or we sit and just discuss something, and we say, come on, let's start, and I play the piano, Vishal plays the guitar, and then immediately the music connects us. The reason of Vishal and Shekhar coming together is music. I think that's the catalyst of us coming together very strongly.
Also, I think we're just a couple of goofs and we have a really good time. So, that's kind of key to the process. We really enjoy ourselves. We enjoy what we do. We don't do it with a sense of pressure or, we've been around for long enough now not to have to worry about how far it's going to go, how far it's not going to go. We feel like we should just do stuff that we enjoy more than anything else. And if we do it honestly, it will reach people, so. I think that was a good, I think Vishal, you picked the right word, was being goofy about like 5:30. Today, this morning at about 7 o'clock, we just started talking like two
crazy people, just like in different accent. You know, in a Sindhi accent, we just start talking to each other. So it's madness. Anything can happen at any time between the both of us. So that's the fun of it. It's quite crazy.
Yeah, and let me just tell you that the madness is working. It's completely working. The creative synergy that you bring to the table is absolutely amazing. Since the songs from Fighter dropped, Sher Khul Gaye, Ishq Jaisa Kuch, I mean, we've been playing it virtually non-stop on the station. We know the amount of love it has received. Perhaps my last question to you, is there anything specific that you would like to talk about? Are you ever in a scenario where one person says, this is a better riff or this would really work, and the other saying, no, let's go this way? How do you decide
every
then?
day. We do that all the time.
All the time?
Now it's come to a point where now we try everything and we'll see what works. And then usually we come to some sort of consensus. We know, I think we've come to know each other really well, and there will always be like an idea, Shikhar will have an idea that's different from mine and vice versa. And then we'll pick whichever works best for the song. It's really quite easy. But the one thing that we really do want to say about Fighter's music is you just referred to 2 songs. The third one, Heer Asmani, has just come out day before yesterday. Yep. And that is actually the first glimpse you see of the characters as Indian Air Force pilots. You see their relationship with the aircraft, their relationship with the sky. You're only just now getting to learn the depths of these people. So the first 2 songs that you saw, one was a party song, one was a beat song, although they both have a place in the plot.
Yeah.
But the real songs are just starting to come now. And this film is perhaps, it's incredibly entertaining. It's a big crash, boom, bang entertainer, yes. But also it's a film that you will carry home in your heart. It really it has a lot of emotion, a lot of strength to the story. So, we just want everybody to know that.
Fantastic. Long may your friendship and your creative association continue. Like I said, you've entertained us so thoroughly. Could I ask you to maybe sing a few lines from one of your favorite songs from Fighter?
Not at all. Happy to. Shikhar, you want to pick one?
कि जो भी हमें देखे वो कहता रहे कि आज शेर खुल गए.
And I could do, for example, होने लगा है जो है इश्क यहाँ है वो इश्क जैसा कुछ.
You know what? Unplugged versions of both those songs would be absolutely amazing as well. Thank you so much. I wish you every success with Fighter. And like I say, we are broadcasters who thrive on good music. And each time a soundtrack comes out, we keep our fingers crossed and say, I hope there's something in it which has repeat value. And you guys have hardly ever disappointed. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure catching up with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
You can catch Shabnam Sahi, the ultimate storyteller, weekdays 9 a.m. till 12 noon.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to the studio Veronica. What's going on?
Yeah, well, good.
Wicked. Really good to see you. How are you, more importantly?
I'm really well.
And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
We were just discussing that it was a mad one for you guys as it was for us as well, like every night, 4 a.m. and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, trying to put the kids to bed at 3 o'clock is not a good idea.
But here we are, man. I mean, look, it's a brand new year. It's 2024. And finally, you've got new music to discuss, which is really good. We'll talk about why it's taken so long in a little while. But I also just wanted to give a little insight because me and you have got some serious parallels, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't know each other, but we grew up like probably 4 streets away from each other. Then we ended up going to the same college and doing the same performing arts thing, whatever we did. I can't even remember. Course at Elm Park College, which is now Stanmore College. Then, of course, you met Rishi, who I went to school with, and then he started producing music with you, and we became a really tight social circle. And here we are, some 30 odd years later in a studio together. So what an amazing, strange parallel universe that you and I have
absolutely
been on.
It's very weird, but amazing at the same time.
And what a career, firstly. Congratulations.
Thank
More
you.
importantly, I was just telling you earlier, and the listeners, that Kya Koole Hum was one of the early films that you guys were involved in, but that was back in 2005.
I know.
So next year, that will be 20 years.
I know, it's amazing. I don't know where the time has flown by.
Yeah.
20 years has just gone like a blink of an eye, and it feels like yesterday.
Cast your mind back. What was the first song that you were on that you released?
Very first song.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I think it was Sambala Hemani.
Okay, and what year was that?
Cool. Oh gosh. Now you're testing my mind.
Yeah.
I have no idea. 1996 or something?
Yeah, maybe 96, 97, around that time.
Something like that,
When Rishi was part of Too Cool and there was a little recording studio in the back end of Raina's Lane.
in
the shed.
That's it, that's the one.
And again, like, here we are. That's what, 1997, that's close to 30-something years almost,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
I'm not very good at maths, which is why I'm a radio presenter. And the thing is, what a journey you've been on. I mean, just to discover the friendship and the working relationship that you had with Rishi Rish, and have still the opportunities that you've had to do, like the title track for Hum Tum, then Kya Kule Hum, travel the world more than one time over. I mean, look, how is it for you now as a grown woman and a mother as well, which we'll talk about in a little while, to be able to still be doing this? How does that feel?
It's absolutely phenomenal. I feel so blessed to have had, the life that I have, and had the opportunities that I've had. It's incredible. You couldn't write it, like something that when you start off, it's something that is in your dreams, and when it becomes a reality, it's just unbelievable. So I feel very blessed.
And going back to those college days in Elm Park, right, when you were studying performing arts,
Yes.
did you ever think that you'll be in a position where you'd be recording songs and travelling the world with the success of those songs?
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That was the dream, and it just shows that dreams come true.
Dreams come true. But it's like they say, it's kind of like nowadays the younger generation all want to be part of that 1%, right? And they want to get into a startup, and they want to create a business, and they're expecting some big conglomerate to come along and buy it for 100 million and just do a year's work. But nothing happens in a year, right? I mean, you had to work towards even recording your first track. Tell us a little bit about the beginning of that relationship, that working relationship.
So, like, just going back to what you were just saying, like nothing good comes easy. So you have to put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and the music industry is such that there's so many sharks out there that you just don't know where to step, what to do. You're just an innocent person out in this industry and trying to find your way through. So I met Rishi when we were teenagers, and I remember the first time, so he called me down for an audition. Went into the shed where he had all his equipment, and I heard him play. He just put his hands on the keys and he played, and I was like, wow, this is magic. I just started singing, and instantly we just had like a chemistry, and we started vibing, like writing, and he got me down to feature on the Sambala Hamani track with Kumar Shanu, and that was it. That's literally how it started.
And as a young girl at that time, and I mean young, right? We were like, 16, 17, 18 at that time. And, to be surrounded, obviously, by a very male-dominated industry as well. How was it finding your way through that as well? Like, where did the securities and the insecurities lie?
It was very tough, because you have to be a strong female, and me, when I was younger, I was so shy. I couldn't even have a conversation with someone, look at them in the eye. That was me. And then I realised, look, if I want to be a singer, I want to be out there, I need to switch up. This isn't going to work. So, trying to find your own, find your space, trying to find your confidence and be around the lads. In one way, it was easy being around the lads because they were so chilled. So I could just be myself. But then, you have the competition as well, because you got to be as good as them, if not better. Yeah. So, yeah.
But talking about competition, at the time when you were doing your thing, it was literally just young guys everywhere. There was no other Veronica.
No.
And there's been many, obviously, like we've had loads of artists like Hardcore, and we've had Miss Scandalous, and we've had lots of great artists come through, but at that time there was nobody else.
I know. I think I was fortunate, but even having those female artists around, that was, I don't know, for me, I didn't think of it as competition. I felt more of like that camaraderie, like, yeah, come on girls, let's do this, let's get our foot in the scene, and because it's so male dominated. But I remember once I had a conversation with Jay Sean, and he was saying, God, you're so lucky, you're the only female, you got it all. And I was like, well, actually no, because you guys are my competition. And you started laughing.
Veronica, tell me, have any of your kids got the sort of similar aspirations in the kind of performing field? Obviously, your partner and husband is a musician as well as other things as well. So have they caught on to any of that stuff?
Yes. 100%. They're all into something. So my eldest, she loves playing the piano, so she's just awesome at it. The other day she put my track on and she just figured out the chords. Wow. And she was playing away. My middle daughter, she's into acting and performing, on the stage and theatre, all of that, film. And my son, little one, he's a little drummer.
A little drummer.
Little drummer boy.
Little drummer. Drama. That's great, man. It's really nice to have parents who are doing both, like obviously got careers outside of the industry, but also taking an interest in the performing arts. It's interesting because we were just talking about being at college together, and obviously I went off. I did a bit of music with you guys for a little while. We won't talk about that. And then obviously I went off into the acting field. Was there any further aspirations for you to perform as an actor as well as the music? Was it just a way in?
I think so. I did do an acting course at some point.
Yep.
I think the opportunity never came about, but I think I would have liked to explore that avenue if that door was there. I would have,
But of course, being a singer and a songwriter and a musician, acting still comes hand in hand with it because you've done however many music videos that you've done, and talking about Half Girlfriend as well. Like, what was it like being on the set of a proper Hindi film and shooting a song, and obviously Hum Tum with Saif Ali Khan and all that kind of stuff? What are those experiences like?
Absolutely phenomenal. Like, we on this side watch Bollywood from afar and you think, oh wow, it just looks incredible, amazing, glamorous, colourful, like the superstars, and to be part of that is so surreal. Like the first track you played, the Kya Kool Hai Hum track, I remember we were all up in the lift and we were coming down, and there was kind of like a crowd of people, and they built the stage like literally within a couple of hours. These guys come along, tinkering away. They built the stage, fireworks going off, and me, Rishi, Juggy and Jay, we just looked at each other and we were just like, this is surreal. Trying not to catch on fire at the same time, trying to look cool coming down this,
And of course, hanging out with people like Abhishek Bachchan at the award ceremonies and all that kind of stuff as well. And there's a certain special relationship that vocally, at least musically, that you've had, and that is with Juggy, of course. You've done a lot of duets with him, hugely successful tracks. How was that like being on the road with him? Was he like a caring sort of brother, or was it like, oh, we're all lads and we're having a good time? What was that like? Because Juggy had his outlandish years, right?
Yeah.
And so we won't talk too much about them, but what was it like being on the road with him?
A bit of both, I would say.
Yeah,
bit of both. But we've always been really close, and it's a very special relationship because when you spend that much time with somebody, you get to know them. Like, you get to know about their life and their personal life and their family and like whatever's going on, and you need to connect with someone because it's a lonely road out there.
It is.
So
traveling is not all the glamour that it's made out to be as well, because at the end of the day you spend so much time with each other. Sometimes at the end of the show you just want to go to your own room and go to sleep or watch TV on your own, and you guys were stuck together for such a long time. And I mean, I was part and parcel of a lot of that success at the time and seeing it firsthand, and as much as you all had great camaraderie, I can imagine that you all got on each other's nerves a little bit as well.
So like what would happen is, like, for example, after a show, me and Jay would decide to go back to our own rooms. We're like, going to put a movie on, going to get some room service, going to chill out. And Rishi and Juggy were the ones that, let's have a party. And, so,
that hasn't changed either. That's exactly the same as it always was. They say with all those amazing highs and all those amazing experiences, there always comes a downside or a low. And Veronica, it's great to have you in and to be able to have a chat with you about this, because there's an admission that I need to make to you as well, is that when I first discovered that you had fallen ill, I actually completely and utterly buried my head in the sand and didn't even reach out to you and check how you were or anything like that. It was so difficult for me to even face the truth of it happening that I completely ignored it. So let's talk about this, because when did you first find out that you were diagnosed with cancer?
So when I was pregnant with my third child, with my son, I discovered a lump in my breast, and you don't think anything of it. You just kind of carry on. Then I went to the doctors, I got it checked out. I basically just kept getting fobbed off, and it got to a point where I realised, something's definitely not right. Just kept pushing for, proper checks and scans. By the time they did check me, I was probably like 34, 35 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
So I'd most of the pregnancy had gone. And then they discovered that I had breast cancer. So that was all literally before my son was going to be born. So my world literally turned upside down from that point.
Yeah, and also, I mean, pregnancy is supposed to be joyous, right, and celebratory, and this was the third time, and you've been blessed with it. But also with that came the whole kind of journey that you had to go on, not just being pregnant, but also dealing with this diagnosis. And did you have to get any treatment while you were pregnant? Did you have to wait for the baby to be born first?
So they were like, you're nearly full term, so, we've got to get baby out, and we got to, chemo, ops, this, that. It was all just too much for me to sort of take in. So I kind of had to just take a step back and say to the doctors, I just need a minute to bond with my child. This is not what I was expecting at all. So it was very difficult.
And was it, look, the thing is, you're sitting here fully recovered now and completely like in remission, as they say, or even past that as well.
Yes.
But was there ever a time, and again, be as honest as you want to be, was there ever a time where they said to you, we don't know, it might be touch and go? Was there a time where you might have had to suffered long with this? Was there anything like devastating that they told you other than the diagnosis?
Yeah, I think, the doctors, the prognosis is always that they try and be positive as much as they can. But when there was a point when I thought, the cancer was clear, and I spoke to my surgeon, and he was like, you're not in the clear. It's still there. And then just that devastating news, hearing that, it's very difficult. You don't know mentally where you're actually at. You don't know how to process this information.
And of course, I mean, look, without blowing his trumpet, you had a very supportive husband. He's always been by your side. A great family as well. I mean, we all know how important that is. But, I mean, what part did they all play in that as well?
So I was very, very blessed that... the kids were taken care of immediately. My mum, my sister, she had her baby that month, and they dropped everything. They moved into my house and just took care of the kids and the cooking and me, and Bobby was able to be there with me at the appointments and things. So without that support, I think it would have been extremely difficult. So
and just give us a timeline. What from when you found out to when you came out the other side of it? What sort of time are we talking about? How many years?
Gosh, a good couple of years. Yeah. For me now, it's a blur. So if I try and think of numbers, it's just like, oh my goodness. But yeah, it was a good couple of years.
Yeah.
And even after, you still, you suffer with the effects, because the chemo affects you certain ways. The ops affect you in certain ways. It's not easy to go under the knife and have surgery.
And it's not just a physical thing, right? It must be a mental effect as well, to know that this is in you and how you deal with it on a day-to-day basis.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, it's exhausting.
Yep.
And going through chemo is, like I say it openly, it's like the living dead.
Yeah.
It's horrendous.
And now with God's grace, of course, you're still sat here, you're still celebrating life, you've got an amazing family. But what's really positive, Veronica, and I will say this as well, that you have become an amazingly vocal, openly vocal ambassador for people who suffer with different types of cancer. I know that you did some work with our very own Paul Shah as well.
Yes.
You've been on TV shows like This Morning, etc., and all that, talking about your journey as being a mother and all that. So first and foremost, I mean, coming out the other end of it and being able to do that, how does that feel for you as well?
So at the time, it was, I kind of went into a cave. I just locked down. I couldn't really talk to anyone about it. It was a very private thing that I went through. And then when I started to feel a little bit better and knew that my whole treatment was finished, I felt like I really needed to do something, because I felt like I had the capability to make a difference. And, when you go through something like cancer yourself, it affects 1 in 2 people. That's, such a massive statistic. So I was like, I can't just sit here and do nothing. I have to try and make a difference. So every little thing that I can do, just bring awareness.
And what about a day-to-day now? Is there anything that affects you on a daily basis, even though you're on the other side of it? Do you sort of allow it to kind of go, oh my God, when you wake up in the morning, obviously we're all blessed to be awake, but how is it different for you, to be able to still be here? And we're going to talk about this brand new song that you've released as well, and still be making music. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it means everything. To have another day just to breathe and just to do simple things like take the kids to school and pick them up and, be able to make music. It's just like life is so precious and just so grateful that I'm here.
And now that you are here, how many years has it been since you released music?
So Half Girlfriend was 2017.
Yep.
And the track that I did with Arijit Singh, Ve Mahi, that was 2020.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So nearly 4 years. But like your own music, like this right now, what we're about to play, how long has that been?
Oh my gosh. My own single, I dropped my album, was it 2010?
Teen, was it? Was that 2010?
Rush. Okay,
yes. After Teen. Yeah. So 2010.
Yeah.
And here we are now, 14 years later,
Wow.
listening to a brand new single. And talk to us about Gone, because it is about your journey with cancer, right?
Yes. So I was inspired by the journey through cancer, and I wanted to kind of talk about, what I was feeling, what I was going through. It was very difficult to express myself at the time, but at the end of it, I felt like I wanted to put it like pen to paper and get that emotion out. And it was what can I say? It wasn't a difficult track to write, but it took it out of me.
Yeah.
It really, really took it out. And it was like a form of release.
Yeah.
Because, I'm talking about how, you have to face certain things, like how you're going to say goodbye to the people you love. How do you do that? How are they going to be feeling? How am I going to be feeling? So I tried to sort of, get that across.
And do you think this song is a form of like closure for you to say, like, I am on the other side of this now, and I can talk about it, and I can express myself in a form of exorcism, I guess, in some way, to kind of get it out of your system, which is what I found listening to the song. This is the brand new single from Veronica. How many did we say? 14 years?
Yeah.
No, what did we say? Whatever it is now.
Something like that.
Right? Of a first single of being released since her last album in 2014. It's called Gone. It reflects her journey about dealing with cancer and dealing with the thoughts of having to say goodbye to the people that you love. We're going to have a bit of fun before I let you go. But actually, while we are here and we've just played Gone, why don't you tell us where people can get that track?
So it's very exciting. I can't wait. The track is out tomorrow on all major streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it.
Amazing. And there's a video to go with it, right? And it's quite different. Tell us about the video, actually.
So the concept for it, I had this vision in my mind for an AI video. And it's about, I want you guys to watch it, so I don't want to give too much, away.
Yep.
But it's kind of about my journey as a performer and, around the darkness that I've been through in my life as well. And then at the end, you see that I will turn into this phoenix, which represents...
the phoenix rises.
Yes.
The phoenix rises. And the video's out tomorrow as well?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Amazing. And so what's next, Ron? Now that you've started making music again and you come out the other side of this very, very horrible stage of your life, what's next? What's the aspirations? You want to go back to doing sort of songs for Hindi films? You want to stick to the kind of English vibe that is what you actually came from musically? What's the plan?
There's no limit. Just whatever. I just want to make music. I want to make good music. And, whether it's Hindi or English, Punjabi, just, really excited to see this year out and just lots of new exciting things happening. So, and
you've collaborated with so many people over the years. Who's on your hit list that you still haven't collaborated with?
Oh gosh, you always put me on the spot. I can't think right now, but I'm really like a massive fan of like Kevin Ross. I like R&B, so some like to sing with somebody like that for me would be just like wow.
And everything's possible now, right? We live in such a small world with social media. I mean, even during lockdown, people were collaborating with artists across the globe and just sending them a vocal and then them sending it on back. I know when Jay was messing about online, is it Sidekick? I forget his name. He's a producer that wears like a mask. You just sent them a track and they did a track together and all that kind of stuff. And so actually everything's more possible now than it ever was because you don't even have to deal with labels anymore. You just talk to the artist directly.
Exactly.
I was watching some lady on social media. She just DM'd Drake and said, "You want to come on my podcast?" And he loved the fact that she was this deadpan thing. And he went, "Yeah, all right." And she goes, "But I want to do it in a bed." And he went, "All right." And that was
so I've got a chance.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. All right. So listen, we're going to end with a little bit of fun. I have got 300 questions in front of me here.
Oh my goodness.
And they're quick fire, but you are going to choose them. You're going to have to pick a number and let me know. And we are going to start now.
11.
What's your favourite type of exercise?
HIIT.
Oh. Do you know what HIIT stands for? I saw it on Celebrity Chase the other day.
I don't know what it stands for. No, I don't know what it stands for.
I think it's high intensive something training. Yeah, but no, it's a double I. It's double I. There's a double I.
High intensity interval training.
There you go.
Let me ask Bobby, he knows.
Yeah, high intensity interval training. Next number.
79.
Oh, God. Hold on.
Sorry,
we're going to waste these 2 minutes just going from the number. Hold on. 79 is... Oh, hold on. There isn't a 79. That's weird. There's 300, but they're in sections. Oh, they used to be all in... Hold on. Let me find a 79 for you. If you could choose any office pet, what would it be?
Office pet?
Yeah. Like, if you were to have an office and you were working in an office and you would have a pet in that office, what would it be?
A dog.
Okay. What kind of dog?
Like a cute, cuddly, fluffy one.
What, one of those ones that you carry in a handbag?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, another number. Let's move on.
17.
Okay, very good. 17 is good. Here we go. What's the most interesting fact about you?
What's the most interesting fact? Oh my goodness. I'm really boring, really.
Come on, you're not boring. You've travelled the world, you've seen places, you've done things, you've met people. What's the most interesting fact?
Thing? I honestly can't think. You probably know better.
Rapid fire, Veronica. Rapid fire. The clue is in the title. Okay, yeah, she is boring.
Really
Next number.
bad.
Here we go. Next number.
20.
20. Okay. If you could have any celebrity as your mentor, who would it be?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Oh gosh. Usher.
Usher. Mm-hmm. Nice. Justin Bieber had him, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Next number.
32.
32. Let's find a 32. If you could have a billboard with any message on it, what would it say?
It would have to be check yourself regularly.
Check yourself regularly. Yes, absolutely important. Another number.
21.
Okay. 21 is... What's your favourite app on your phone? Don't say WhatsApp.
My photo app, because I love taking pics of the kids.
People forget that the photo app is actually an app.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Be fair.
Yeah, I love taking like videos and pictures of them because they're just growing up too fast.
Okay, all right. I mean, it's a great answer. Boring, but great answer. Last one then. Come on. Our last couple.
Let's do 39.
Okay, 39 is what's the best way to handle stress in your workplace?
Ooh, do some woosah.
do some woosah.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, now you're going to have to explain it to TikTok and to Instagram and to my listeners.
You know, like...
Woosah.
You know.
But the good thing about making music...
the bad boys thing, yeah.
Surely making music is a way to de-stress. That should have been your answer.
Yes, it is.
All right, listen, Veronica, we've run out of time. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again, not just for the great music and the creative you had, but also the person that you are and the way that you inspire people on the journey that you've been. And I wish you all the very best, and I look forward to so much more great music.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Wicked.
Catch Ameet Chana Monday to Thursday from 7 p.m. on Sunrise Radio.